about the Jones Amendment in the House and not the Newman Amendment in the Senate?
I want to be able to have a bill to pass both houses that is built on our conservative principles that actually has a chance to pass. Now, the floor substitute that passed with my support by removing the fee and removing the tolls is one that I'm advocating every member of the General Assembly and the House to pass. There are several different floor amendments I understand are going to be offered in the Senate. My preference is that we pass the bill that came out of the committee. That's the bill that I introduced. But I understand through the legislative process there are going to be amendments. Whopping tax increases are dead on arrival. We're not going to pass those. Other amendments that are able to get 21 votes in the Senate are things we can talk about. I expect at the end of the day it'll be resolved.
Senator says,
hold on.
Folks should know the House is voting now.
I said that the Senate plan is a whopping tax increase that I can't sign. It won't pass. Yes.
Senator Sasla says that raiding the general fund is not acceptable.
Senator Sasla is absolutely wrong. It's bluster. It's not correct. We've had $450 million of surplus over the last 3 years since I've been governor. The general fund has been growing at anywhere from $800 million to $1 billion a year. For the senators to say we can't afford another $50 million a year from the general fund to transportation is flat wrong. We've done it 4 or 5 times over the last 20 years. We certainly can have a small amount of that to be part of the solution. It's just not correct. It's not honest to the citizens to say that we can't use a little bit of general fund to solve this problem.
And his argument is that it's the Republican Party that refuses to compromise on this, and it's the Republicans who are being obstructionist.
Just not accurate. If you look at the bill that's been introduced on the floor, we've got new revenues with some fee. We have a conversion to a sales tax that is revenue neutral in the first year, but generates significant money in the out years with economic growth. These are revenue increases. It's a balance. It's a balance between out year growth in revenues and general fund. That's what we need in order to get a deal done.
Governor, are you concerned that with the removal of the fees, with the removal of the tolls, that there won't be enough revenue to do a big plan?
Well, I said that we needed to have around $850 million a year. You need $500 million to be able to address the maintenance deficit. All of that then will be freed up for construction, and then for transit and for other construction revenues, we need to have at least that $850 million. So bills that come in less than that, I would not prefer. But I want to see the Senate take some action today, and the obstruction, particularly the Senate Democrats, because of their political concerns and because of their demand for billion-dollar tax increases, are just unreasonable. It's not a good faith effort to be able to get transportation done. That's why I proposed.
But is it enough money? Is it enough money for you?
Well, I've said $850 million is what we need. Now, there's a range that can be negotiated in there. Like I said, the conference committee will be the place where this will finally be decided. But bills that generate $400 or $500 million probably aren't reasonable, or $1.4 billion tax increases, which is the only Senate Democrat proposal. It's not reasonable either. That's not how we're going to be able to get to a deal that passes.
Governor, the consensus is that something has to be done. What would you say to those who say, but getting rid of the gas tax would tax the poor who don't drive but do pay sales tax?
It's just the opposite. The sales tax is more regressive than the gas tax. The Chimera report that came out 8 days ago says exactly that. Number two, people that are in the rural areas, perhaps, where they may have lower incomes, they actually drive more and pay proportionately less in sales.